Hello to your viewers. You are on the channel Stories from the Cat Box. Good mood to you and enjoy listening. Victor and Emma had been married for 17 years. They got married right after high school when they were both barely past the age of majority. By the time they were 25, they had a child, and Victor was particularly eager to grow his business. Now at 35, he had a small chain of coffee shops in town via Hello. The bell on the door to the coffee shop rang. Victor took his eyes off his papers and looked up at the man who had just entered. It turned out to be his friend, Leonid. They shook hands and Victor invited him to join him for a cup of coffee. They saw each other quite rarely after high school. Leonid went to enroll in another city where he also found a job. "How are you doing?" Victor asked, sipping a cup of aromatic drink. Leon had told him about his work, about his new girlfriend, and that he had decided to propose to her. "You're a tight wad." Victor smirked. "Retirement is coming up and you just want to get married." During a friendly conversation, time flew by. Autumn was deep on the calendar. For this reason, it had long since fallen dark. Vidya realized that he had hastened to end the meeting. His wife, his daughter and a mountain of unlearned lessons were waiting for him at home. "See you later," Leonid shouted to his friend before he disappeared behind the car door at home. Victor's daughter and their favorite pastime together were indeed waiting for him. Homework. Emma flatly refused to do her daughter's homework. "You were the smart one," she always said, pushing her husband to the nursery. "So do it. As your mother used to say to Vita, it's easy to study." His wife was a giggler and joked a lot, and a smile almost never left her lips. That's why many years ago, Vidya fell in love with this laughing girl with two other pigtails on her head. In the evening, Vidya climbed into bed with Emma and immediately snuggled up with his whole body. His wife smiled contentedly and pressed herself even harder against him. These were their favorite moments. "I made an appointment for a massage tomorrow," Emma whispered. "Marina recommended a great master, a cool master than a man." The wife nodded in response. She knew perfectly well that her husband would never get jealous. Not once in so many years had she ever given reason to doubt herself and her feelings for him. Victor said that he would leave her money in the morning for a full course so that his wife did not deny herself anything. The next evening, Vidya and his daughter were just finishing their homework. When Emma returned from her massage, her cheeks were a little ruddy, either from the blood rush from the session or from the beginning of the frost. Emma looked somewhat lost but overall, very satisfied, asking her about her last session. Victor made sure that his wife enjoyed it. This went on for 4 weeks. Victor wondered what a regular massage was doing to a woman. Emma blossomed and grew younger right before his eyes. It wasn't that she didn't look good, but now she was glowing as if from within, and that gave her a special charm. "I love you, sweetheart." One night, Vidya laid in bed next to his wife and studied the curves of her body. Emma looked away from the book. She looked at her husband. She smiled and affectionately rubbed his cheek. The next morning, Victor took his daughter to school and drove himself to work, asking the barista to make him a stronger coffee. He went to the farthest table and laid out the necessary items on it. Taking his phone out of his pocket, Vidya found a message from the sender with a hidden number. Something new. He thought at that moment. They brought him his coffee, and Vidya, not suspecting anything bad, took a sip and opened the message out of surprise. He choked and coughed. Droplets of the drink fell on his jeans. There were only a few words and a photo in the message. The text read, "I'm sleeping with your wife," and the picture attached displayed those words. Victor rubbed his eyes and stared again at the phone screen. Is this some kind of practical joke? The photo showed a pumped-up man and a woman. Her face was partly covered by her hair and partly by the hand with which she covered her mouth. There was no doubt as to what exactly the two were doing in this photo. No, it was definitely spam. They want to trick me for money. Vidya thought, not taking his eyes off the picture at that moment. He received another message from the same center, but this time and it was just text. Do you want to see more? Victor read it and angry deleted the correspondence. He finished his coffee in a gulp and was about to ask for another one when he received another text message. Even if you do not want, I'll still show you a photo was written in it as well. The woman was again poorly visible from what came into the frame. Vidya could see only the back and buttocks. Victor was very angry at these stupid messages at the center and especially at himself. He was angry with himself for thinking so badly of Emma. She'd never once given him any reason to suspect her of anything. The messages stopped coming. Victor gradually calmed down and the day went on. He erased all correspondence with John Doe once again, but he could not get what had happened out of his mind at home. His girls were waiting for him. Emma prepared dinner and asked her husband to open the champagne that had been languishing in the refrigerator for a long time waiting for him. The evening passed so quietly and homely that Vidya completely forgot about the stupid prank and the pictures of the naked woman for a week already. Victor had received several lewd pictures on his phone every day. At first, he was angry, tried to block the center and eventually just ignored him on Friday as usual as he was closing the coffee shop and leaving the very last one. He heard the trill again, notifying him of a new message. There was a photo again. This time, he could see everything. Every facial feature, the face Evan seemed for 17 years he had seen every day. It was her. There was no doubt Emma was lying on the table. She was wearing the bra from the lingerie set Vidya had given her for their wedding anniversary. Her eyes were closed and she had bitten her lower lip the way she always did when she was feeling good. Only now, Victor saw the table on which his wife was lying was a massage table and around it on the shelves were jars of oils and candles. So that's why he thought she looked and acted differently after the massage. There is an explanation. When he got home after midnight, he found his wife sitting in the kitchen with a book open without hesitating for a second. Vidya walked up to her and put the phone with a picture on the screen right on top of the book. Emma went pale. She put her hand over her mouth and Vidya heard a soft sob. "Forgive me, Vidya," she whispered after a pause, but it was too late for himself. And Vidya decided everything back in the moment when he first saw his beloved next to another. Victor divorced Emma. He gave her some money for the first time because his wife had not worked for a long time and lived at his expense. The daughter stayed to live with her father, deep down holding a big grudge against her mother. Victor did not forbid them to see each other. But the daughter herself showed little interest in it. A couple of years later, the man met a new love who he treated as carefully and reverently as he treated his ex-wife. But he was still wary of getting close. The pain of the betrayal left an early mark on his soul. And Emma herself for a long time was unable to start a family. Her relationship quickly fizzled out and it was breaking up with men before she could even move in together with no one else. Could she feel the same deep connection as she did with Victor? Everything was shallow and fake and all this could have been avoided, but yielding to fleeting temptation, she ruined with her own hands what they had so long and painstakingly built. So that's the story. Share in the comments. What do you think of the situation and the behavior of the characters? And thank you for listening to the story to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and be sure to like this video, that you will help a lot in promoting